Let's try it out one more time. Alright, let's navigate to our original location. And here, after pressing over this, let's go back. Now you may observe that the foreign current location is changing. Let's change our location one more time. Under our location. Alright, so we have our location here. Alright, hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to implement a reading service under our cart through which we shall be able to read all of the orders which are available under our Cloudflare store. Also manage Google Maps of our entire pizza tour through which we shall be able to choose any particular location for the user for where we shall be delivering all of our pizzas. But before that, if you haven't checked my previous video of implementing authentication with the help of Firebase and also adding all the following logic under our cart, you should definitely check that video first. But if you have did so, we are good to go. So here under my cart, you may observe we have a size box which is quite small. So here first of all, let's have a height. So here I will be simply having a height to my size box, let's say 300. Cool. So once we have our size box, let's have a child to our size box. So under the child, I will be simply returning a stream builder. So the stream builder will be under the type of a query snapshot. So here under our following stream builder, let's have a stream from Firebase Firestore. The usual stuff for the instance from our collection, and the collection is nothing but my orders. And from this we shall be getting all of our snapshots. So once the following stream is done, let's have a builder. So under this builder, let's return a context and similarly a snapshot. So under our builder, we shall be checking if our snapshot is under a connection state of waiting. So here I will be simply adding connection state of waiting. If the following thing is so, we shall be simply returning a center. Under this center, we shall be having a child from the Lottie. Yes, our animated thing that is from Lottie asset. And from this asset, let's move under our puff.py.yaml file and get the following animation of delivery. Cool. So once the following thing is done, under our else block, if our snapshot is under connection state of non-waiting, we shall be simply returning a new list view. Alright, a list view, capital V. So under list view, let's have all our children. So here we shall be having all of our children under a type of snapshots dot data. From this we shall be getting all the docs, and from this let's have a mapping between the docs, that is our list of documents. So here under our children, we shall be simply assigning the value of the children in the form of toList first thing first. And here let's have a type to be a document snapshot, to be not a snapshot but document snapshot. Let's not confuse our filter code. So here under our list view, we shall be returning any of our favorite widget, but for now I shall be simply returning a new container. Cool. So under this container, let's have a height. The height shall be equal for 200. Similarly a width of 400. So under the following thing, let's have a child to be our container to be a row. So under a child for our row, that is children to our row. So under the first child of our children of our row, we shall be having a size box. We shall be consisting of our image. So here I will be simply having a height to my size box. So under our child to be our size box, I can simply add here image.network, and for the following value, instead of having a plain text, I can simply add here document snapshot.data, and from this I shall be simply recurring the image. Press Ctrl and S. Alright, so we have our images here, which is single one. So once we have our image here, so after having the size box, we are going to have a column, and the column shall be consisting all of our data. But first thing first, let's have our main axis alignment for under a center. Similarly a cross axis alignment under a center form. So once we have done this, let's have children to our entire column. So the first children is going to be a document snapshot data, and the data shall be equal to the name. So under this name, first of all, let's have somewhat styling for a text style. Let's have a color of colors of black 87. Let's have somewhat font weight for a bold one. Similarly a font size. So let's have a font size to be of 24. Press Ctrl and S. Cool. So we have text here. So now we can simply do one thing, that is assign one more text by copying this thing. Alright, a comma here. So after this, I will be simply having the price of my pizza under a form of two strings. But before that I will be simply removing this from here, and here I will be simply adding price, and here under the dollar quotation I will paste on this. Cool, so we have price here. Now we simply need to remove these attributes, and instead of let's have a font size or a smaller range of 18 shall be enough. Cool, so once this thing is done we can simply copy this, paste. Alright, a comma, and a comma. So here let's have a onion value, and from here I'll be simply having onion, one more for beacon, and one more for cheese. So once everything is done, we can format document once. So after having this, let's have a circle avatar for the size of a particular pizza. So for that I can simply have a circle avatar. So after having this, let's have somewhat child to our circle avatar. The child shall be nothing but a text, and the text shall be from a document snapshot itself. For a data, for a size 1, let's have somewhat styling for a text style, having a color of white one, not red one. So we have everything up and ready. So after having these attributes, let's have somewhat decoration. Alright, a decoration of a box decoration. For let's have somewhat box decoration here. So first of all I will be simply having a box shadow, and under this I will be simply having a box shadow type. Alright, so first of all let's have a color to our entire box shadow. So here I will be simply adding a color for colors of grey. For this I will be having a shade of 500, and after that let's have somewhat blur radius, let's say of 5, also a spread radius of 5. Alright, so it is up and ready. And after having this thing, let's have somewhat border radius as well, but not in box shadow. So here I will be simply having a border radius to be a border radius. For circular, let's say 25. And after that let's have somewhat default color to our entire container of colors of white. Cool, so it is looking nice now. So once we have assigned everything here, which is looking quite ugly. Alright, we have price 2 times. What is going on here, Abhishek? Cool. So once we have done this, let's somewhat increase the size of our price, let's say 21. Cool, so it is looking quite good now. So after having this thing, the next objective of our today's video is selecting the location of the user. So if you observe, we have a text editing tab for selecting a new area, for which it is simply selecting here a new police area. So for that let's close up this and create a new mini view for an entire location thing. So for that we can simply create a new folder for mini views, and here under this let's create a new file for maps.dart, and here under this file let's have a new stateful widget. So under this let's have a new stateful widget for maps. Let's have a scaffold here. Alright, so we have our scaffold here. So after having this, let's have a body to our entire map. The body shall be under the privilege of tag. So under this tags, let's have all the children. So the first children shall be going to be for the entire map itself. So for getting up all the maps, we can go under our manage maps, not data. So under our generate maps class, we have instantiated our current get location method. So after having this get current location, we shall be able to create a new method for getting the markers on our map, also for fetching of all the maps. And if you are under a verge of deep dive over Google Maps, you should definitely check this playlist, in which I have explained everything about Google Maps of Flutter. But if you are regardless for a crash course of Google Maps, you are at right place. So here after getting the current location, let's create a new future method for fetching all the maps. So here I will be simply adding fetch maps. The following method is going to be asynchronous, our usual stuff. Under this we shall be simply writing here get current location. Alright, when the get current location shall be completed, we shall be simply returning Google Map itself. And yeah, I remember from Google Maps, you can simply go back under pub.yaml file, get a dependency of these three things: geocoder, geolocator, and Google Maps Flutter. So once we have gotten all these dependencies under our fetch maps method, let's have here Google Maps. So it will simply take one most important parameter of initial camera position. But before that, let's have one more important property of it, is on map created. So under this I will be simply having Google Map Controller to be a map controller. So under this method, let's assign the value of the following map controller to a new controller. which is nothing but our Google Map controller itself. Copy this, and here it shall be equal to the map controller itself. Once the following thing is done, let's notify all the users. So here under initial camera position, I can simply write here a camera position. So under this camera position, comma here. So under this camera position, it will be taking a target. So I can be simply taking a target of lat long. Let's have somewhat mock target for now of any sort of thing. So once we have done this, let's have a zoom level of 18, which is quite standard one. Format document once. So once the following thing is done, the next thing is about markers. That is, after the user shall be selecting over any particular place, he shall be seeing all of our data under a form of marker. So for that, we can simply go at the top of our initialization, which is quite here. And here create a new map between marker ID and marker. So here I will be simply writing marker ID and a marker. Let's name it marker itself. We shall be equal to the marker and marker ID itself. Alright, so once the following thing is done, we can simply come down here and add here map marker type. So for markers, I will be simply adding a set of the type of marker, and from this I can simply add here off, and under the form of elements I can simply add here markers. From this I will be simply taking all of their values. So once we have simply set up our markers property under our Google Maps, we shall be creating a new method for getting all the markers. So for that I can simply write here get markers. So it will be taking two main parameters, which will be first of all a double for a latitude, also a double for longitude. So once we have done this, let's have a marker ID first. So here I will be simply having a marker ID to be a marker ID, which will be simply equal to a marker ID, and it will be consisting a value, and the value shall be simply the sum of latitude and longitude. So for that I can simply write here lat dot toString plus, not 6 plus, only plus, longitude dot toString. Cool. So once we have done this, I will have my actual marker here to be a marker that will be equal to the marker class itself. Under this, let's provide the value of it to be marker ID. Cool. So once we have done this, under our entire marker method, we shall be having an icon to be a bitmap descriptor, or let's say default marker thing, and after that let's have a position of itself, and under the case of position I can simply enter position to be lat long. Alright, lat long. So here I will be simply adding a latitude and longitude. So once we have provided a position, I can simply enter info window to be info window, and under this let's have a title for now. Let's say my title. After this let's have some more snippet, and the snippet shall be equal to the country name, the standard things. You can simply format document once. So after having the following marker thing, I can simply add the following marker set, that is markers. From this I will be simply getting up the marker ID, that will be simply equal to the marker itself. So once the following thing is done, format document once. So everything is done from here. Now let's do one thing, that is assign the other properties to our map. So here let's have one more thing of my location enable to be true, my location enable button to be true as well, and here we shall be having a property of on map. It will be taking a value of loc, which will be our current location. So here under the case of loc, first of all we will be simply creating a new coordinates of the following particular user. So for that I can simply enter final coords, which will be simply equal to geocoder. But first of all I can simply enter geocoder. Let's import it under the form of geoco.geocoder. Remove this from here. The usual stuff that we have done in our previous tutorial. So under this we won't need geocoder but the coordinates. So under the coordinates I can simply enter loc dot latitude, also loc dot longitude. Once we have done this, we can simply set up a variable address to be var address, which shall be simply equal to await geoco, and from this I can simply catch up my geocoder from the local I will be simply adding a file address from coordinates. The coordinates are nothing but chords. Alright, let's make it asynchronous. What's happening here? Cool. So once we have done the following things, we shall be having different variables for country name and etc. from the address. So let's do one thing, that is create some different fields for the country name. So here I will be simply adding country name, also main address. Let's have somewhat getters from them. Get, alright, a get parameter here, and after this same for main address. So once we have done these things, we can come down here, and here I can simply add country name to be equal to address dot first. From this, let's have a country name. After having this, let's have a main address. The main address shall be from the address. For first, for address line, let's notify all the listeners. So on typing it, first of all we shall be checking up if our markers are empty. So here I will be simply adding if it is empty, we shall be simply adding our get markers method, not get main address but get markers method. Let's provide latitude and longitude under the form of log.latitude and longitude, and else if it is not so, we shall be simply clearing up all of our markers. Alright, let's also do one thing, that is print the location, that is loc. Cool. So once everything is done from here, let's move under our maps, and here first of all we shall be having a child of a provider for manage maps, that is generate maps. Alright, from this let's have our fetch maps method. So it is getting an error here, so to manage that we can simply add a widget here. Now let's try it up. Alright, so we have this thing here. So after having the child to be fetch map itself, I will have a new position widget. Under this, let's have somewhat icon button. Alright, so under icon button we will have an icon from icon. It will be simply getting up for icons for iOS back, and on pressing it, alright, not here, let's have somewhat color to it first, of colors of white. So on pressing it, we shall be navigated back. Alright, so everything is done here, nothing is happening for now. Alright, so to make it working, we can simply go down under our entire text thing. So on editing it, let's navigate the user to our new class of maps. Alright, we are getting a null value here. So for that we can simply go back, and for now let's remove the following thing. Cool. Alright, so under our maps, first of all let's have somewhat black color and somewhat padding from top for a 51. So here if I simply navigate to new area, alright, so let's try changing up somewhat data from our markers. Alright, so after several attempts that our map type was a wrong one, so we are simply getting all of our map here. Now the value of our map shall be totally depending upon your press thing. So here if I simply navigate to my current location, we shall be navigated here, we shall be nothing but the amphitheater one, which is under a foreign thing. So now let's try pressing over any of the following thing. Now you may observe that we are simply getting all of our latitude and longitude after pressing over any of the following thing. But for to test it out more, we can simply go back here under my maps. Okay, where is this? And here after that, let's print out the country name. Also let's print out the main address. So after pressing over it, you may observe that the following current location will be changing. United States, that is the country name. Also the location of the following user. Press one more time. Cool. So we are now successfully getting all of the users location, which is quite huge achievement for us. So now let's do one thing, that is simply try only getting the markers without any current. So after tapping over it, alright, I don't know why the markers are not appearing, but no worries, we are successfully getting the user's location, which is quite huge achievement for us. Now you may observe that after pressing over any other location, we are now getting all of the location of the user, which is very cool thing for us. So format document once. So once everything is done, we can simply navigate back. But before that, we can simply go under my cart, and here instead of having my police area, we can have text from the provider. And for this, alright, let's import it once. Alright, for the provider, let's have a type of off. We shall be under a type of manage maps. Not manage map but generate map. So here we will be simply returning to value to be true, because we shall be rendering our entire application. And from here I will simply get our final address. But to get rid of all the errors, we can simply go under our manage maps. Here let's give somewhat mock address to be the mock address itself. So here after pressing over this, alright, after pressing over this, the final address is this one. So I can simply go back. Alright, get main address, not the final address. Wrong one, Abhishek. Let's try it out one more time. Alright, let's navigate to our original location. And here after pressing over this, let's go back. Now you may observe that the foreign current location is changing. Let's change our location one more time. Under our location. Alright, so we have our location here, and similarly the marker. So here under this, we shall be also doing one thing, that is simply changing the following marker type. But for now it is okay to us. And you can also do one thing, that is under a title of our maps, that is under the marker data. Instead of having this thing, we shall be having get main address here. Cool. So here under our debug console, we have a new location here. Let's press on this, which is 918 Charleston. So I can simply go back, and tada, the location shall be changing. Now we have done a great job. We are now successfully getting the user's location, that is the current location, and also a change location. Also we can save the timing of the following user by simply adding a text field under a bottom sheet. Now this shall be homework for you for changing up the time. The quest is very simple. You simply need to add a model sheet at the bottom. So with that said, we are now heading to the finale of our Pizzato, that is simply adding a payment gateway, which will be our final episode, which will be our next one. Till then, if you have loved this video, please hit that like button. Also comment down all of your doubts that may be occurring. You should definitely connect me on my social media. So in this tutorial, we have successfully implemented fetching up our entire data from our Cloudflare store along with a nice UI. Also getting the current location of the user after having the following maps. So with that said, I will see you in the next one with another great video. Till then, goodbye.